When I discovered my wife's affair, it wasn't through some dramatic confrontation or a suspicious text message. It was a simple slip. One night, I borrowed her phone to call my mom after mine died. That's when a message popped up. Can't wait to see you again. Beautiful. Same hotel. The sender's name was saved as Martin, project lead. My heart went cold. I opened the thread and what I saw confirmed everything I never wanted to believe. Photos, late-night plans, even inside jokes about how her husband would never find out. My wife, Emma, the woman I had trusted with every piece of my life, was sleeping with her coworker. For a few hours, I sat alone in the dark, reading and rereading the messages, trying to process the betrayal. I felt like my entire marriage had been rewritten in front of my eyes. But instead of rage, what filled me was a chilling calm. I wasn't going to scream or beg for answers. I was going to make them understand the weight of what they'd done, not through violence, but through humiliation wrapped in politeness. So, I did something no one would have expected. I found out Martin's wife's name, Olivia, through social media. A few clicks later, I had her contact information. I didn't plan to tell her everything immediately. I simply messaged her. I think our spouses have been spending too much time together. Maybe we should talk. She replied within minutes. We met at a quiet cafe the next day, both pretending we didn't already know the truth. When I showed her the messages, Olivia's face drained of color. She sat in silence for a long moment, then whispered. He promised me it was just work dinners. I nodded. She told me the same thing. That day, we formed an unspoken alliance. Two betrayed souls who refused to play the victims. After hours of talking, an idea came to me. Crazy but perfect. What if I said slowly, we let them see what betrayal looks like from the outside? Olivia tilted her head, unsure at first, but when I explained, a faint smile tugged at her lips. You want to take me on a date and let them find out, she asked. Exactly, I replied. Let's give them a night they'll never forget. It wasn't about revenge through romance. It was about showing them what it felt like to lose control of their lives. A week later, I booked a table for 4 at the same high-end restaurant where Emma and Martin often met for work. I made sure the reservation was under my name and that they would both be there that night. Thanks to a little tip, I overheard from Emma's phone call. When the evening came, Olivia and I dressed impeccably. She wore a stunning black dress, and I matched her with a tailored suit. We walked in like a couple deeply in love, laughter echoing as we entered the restaurant. Heads turned, including 2 faces at a corner table that went pale the moment they saw us. Emma froze mid-bite, her fork hovering in the air. Martin's hand, which had been resting on hers, instantly pulled back, the color drained from his face. Olivia leaned in close to me and whispered loud enough for them to hear, You were right, Daniel. This place is beautiful. Perfect for our first real date. Emma's jaw clenched. I smiled calmly, pretending not to notice them, but every move was deliberate, my hand resting gently on Olivia's, my laugh genuine yet sharp as a blade. The waiter approached their table, confused. Would you like your usual wine, Mr. Martin? That was when the tension shattered. Emma stood up abruptly, storming toward our table. Daniel, what is this? She demanded, her voice shaking. I met her gaze and said softly, a double date. You and Martin didn't think you were the only ones allowed to have one, did you? The entire restaurant fell silent. Olivia stared straight at her husband, her eyes cold. Enjoy your meal, Martin, she said icily. You'll need the energy for the explanations later. He looked like he wanted to vanish into the floor. The manager discreetly moved to calm the scene, but I simply rose from my chair, tossed a few bills on the table, and said, We're done here. As Olivia and I walked out together, the stares and whispers followed us. Emma called after me, but I didn't turn back. For the first time, she knew what it felt like to be the one left behind. To watch the person you took for granted walk away without anger, just quiet finality. That night, Olivia and I didn't talk much. We shared a drink at a quiet bar, both lost in our thoughts. Do you think they'll ever understand? She asked softly. I shrugged. Maybe, but it doesn't matter. They needed to see that they weren't the only ones capable of moving on. She smiled faintly, and for a brief moment, I saw something real in her eyes. Not revenge, but peace. Weeks later, Emma showed up at my apartment, tear-streaked and apologetic. She said she'd ended things with Martin, that she wanted to fix us. But I just shook my head. You broke something you can't rebuild, I said quietly. And now you know what it feels like to watch someone else steal the spotlight. As I closed the door, I realized the revenge hadn't been about hurting her. It was about reclaiming my dignity. Sometimes the best payback isn't destruction. It's showing them they no longer have the power to destroy.